Hello, we are here for one more lesson of this 4M CAD training course, and the topic for today will be the edition in 3 dimensions. So we will see a couple of possibilities to work in 3D, basic functions for rotating, mirroring, etc. Uh, to start, let us make two solids, very simple solids, to work with the commands for today's lesson. So draw, just make a couple of boxes. So solids, let's make a box, very simple. And now I will say only, for example, 5, something like this. And let us make a new one, this time a little different, more a little like this, and something like this. So 2 boxes, solids. And the first command to show you and to talk about is the rotation. So all of these commands are under the modify menu. So modify, we have one entry here, 3D operation, rotate, and we can do a 3D rotate. Okay, choose the entity or the entity, so this one, and now we can give an axis by an entity, by last thing chosen, by view, axis, whatever, or simply 2 points. So 1 point, 2 point. And what happened, it is something like this. So we are rotating in space. As you understand, the basic commands in terms of the 2D, the rotation, to give you the example, modify, rotate, and I can make the choice of the same entity. So 1 point, and you see I can rotate it also, but I'm rotating, doing the rotation in XY plane. Okay, but we can work with the basic functions also for the 3D. Let us make some entity around here also, a line. And the second command to show you, it is called the array. You know it already for the basic 2D, but we have one for 3D. So 3D array, we can select also the entities. We can choose between rectangular or polar, so P. Angle between items or number of items, I can say, for example, 5. I can say 360, and say rotate around the array, yes. And the center point can be this one and this one here, and you'll get something in space also. Okay, for the rectangular array it is the same, but if you remember, when we were working with the standard 2D, we give lines and columns. So in 3D operation, we have a difference that because we are working in space, we need to give also levels. So rectangular, number of rows, for example, 3, 3, 3. So, and we can say 20, 20, 20. And just to show you the look, and we get something like this. Okay, let's go back a little. Okay, here we are. So this is the array also. We have another command called the mirror, and the mirror also under the same. So 3D mirror, again, select the entities, and we can give a mirror plan by several things also, but among them we can choose also some points. If we just say like this, so we will make a mirror through the XY plane. But if we give now the third point, giving depth, so in this particular case For example, I will say something out of the XY plane, 0, 0, and in the Z I can say, for example, 10, just to give the direction. And okay, no issue about it. It was wrong. Let's try again. Go back. Just go back to the, okay. Let's try again. 3D mirror. So entity is this one. Mirror plane by this and this, and third point we can give it 0, 0, 10, and did not do it correctly again. I'm doing something wrong around here. Let's choose again. This time, okay, here we are. I will give, instead of the coordinates, giving through picking in a drawing area. So I'm giving the coordinates on the incorrect way. So, but the idea it is that when we give the points, we define a plan which is called the mirror plan. Okay. Let us delete these two entities, going back to the basic entities. Finally, we have one function called the align, also in 3D. And we can see it also not under the not under the 3D operation, but there is a function called simply align. And the align is very easy also because again, choose the entities and then source point, destination point. So for example, source point, destination point, second source point, destination point, and third. So I will give the orientation, and this source entity will align to the other entity. It's quite nice also and very easy to use. So besides this function, to mention that we can do also for example a standard move, because I can grab one entity or more and just say go somewhere else, and it will move also in space. So I'm showing these functions that are more related with the standard addition as we talk about. But for example, this move command, without having a specific function called move 3D, it can be done simply doing a move and working by coordinates or by picks in drawing area. So it's another option also. Besides these functions to make these transformations of the solids, we have two very interesting commands also, called in this particular case the slice and the section. We can start by the section, and the section will simply create a region. So I will select one entity, and now I can define a section in my entity, and this entity that I choose, it will be a section, but not physical split. So it will be only sectioned, and on that plan we will create curves, and these curves will define a region. So I will give 3 points to define the plan, and what happened is something like this. Okay, so now this is an entity, it's a region, okay, that I can use for other things. But the idea it is to make this section, and it can be a little more complex. The slice, it's similar. It will work on a similar way, and if you notice, I'm just giving the plan by picking points, but I have other options to work with these slice or section commands. So now I will say slice this one. Okay, I can give the plan by object, a surface, an axis, view, whatever, or simply 3 points. So just saying this one, and this one. So and now the difference between the slice and the section is that the section does not cut physically the object, and the slice will cut it. So I can say keep both sides or not, or just keep one side. So if I click in this part, you see it slices my solid, and we can see that, for example, making this kind of visualization as a shade. So these are some commands to make addition of objects in terms of 3D.